Hey guys, Flint Iron still here for your mid-April, April 12th, so I guess as mid as you're going to get, update. Powerhouse is done. Industrial tanks are painted. They're no longer the white styrene. They have the matte silver, Rust-Oleum, whatever the spray paint is. The bases for those two are the same color as the base for the Powerhouse, which is the matte tan camo. So it has a somewhat of a mortar kind of concrete feel. So we got the engine buzz in the background, signifying that we still have analog DC, but we're not going to go to DCC just yet. So I will show you what the Powerhouse looks like internally. But right now you can see there's a soft, faint glow. We got our light, our hobby room lights blinding it out, washing it out. So I'll shut off the main lights so you can actually see what it looks like in a darkened environment. We'll just have the desk light working. Pardon my dogs, they're clicking around on the floor. There you go. Got 6 LEDs, 1.8 millimeter, same ones that are used in the locomotive shed, and they're all wired up in parallel as well. I use a slightly different method than what I used in there, what I used in the engine house. I'll explain it here in a second. All right, so we're gonna take the roof covers off. These aren't solid and not anchored down currently. So there's our wiring job. As you can see at the back wall there, we have a 14 position terminal board that I salvaged from work. It was getting tossed in the garbage, so I decided to take it. Alright, at the very bottom, at the 5th position from the left, you will see a few loops. You see probably in the 4th position, 5th position, onto the 6th. We have a bunch of loops. They're hidden over here, but the last 3 positions over there nearest to the bulkhead, those positions are bent down. But you can see those 3 right there. So what I did, and I'm not sure if this is exactly parallel, I think it is in a traditional sense, but we have 2 feeder wires coming up into the 14 position at both ends. So you got the negative and we got a positive. And then we got using the 7 positions from the left to the middle, and then gap, and then 7 positions that way. So the negative comes in, and then a loop, 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 all the way down to the 7th position, break, and loop, 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 7th position, break. And then we're using 12 of those positions to run our feeders going to the LEDs. LEDs, of course, they're the 1.8 millimeter. And I also have a resistor in there. I can't remember what the value is, but it's, I can't remember what the value is. I'm not even going to try to speculate. But it's enough to step down the voltage coming from power pack. The power pack is 16 volts DC, and these LEDs need at most 14 volts. They're basically, 1 to 14 volts, or 1 to 12 volts. I can't remember exactly which ones they are. So you had a step down resistor on it. But that's the wiring inside of there. Other updates. The yard is ballasted, minus the edge towards facing the windowsill. Probably we'll get to the windowsill, this little section right here, or so. At about that foot long section, that's going to be ballasted, but behind the windowsill, it's going to be really difficult to get to. But everything's ballasted. So the curves, everything, and all the stuff that I didn't reach before, that's all ballasted. Other addition, I'm sure you saw from the other video, had the Powerhouse halfway assembled. They had all the weathering done on it. Smokestack is done. Smokestack is weathered. We got the same kind of thing. It's not too difficult of a job to do. You just water down some acrylic, probably 1 part acrylic, white acrylic, and then 4 or 5 parts of water in a little thimble, medicine container. Water it down, flows in all the nooks and crannies. Once it's dry, you get a rag soaked in isopropyl alcohol, and just give it a good scrub down to get it off the surface, but it doesn't actually affect anything in those valleys. So that's done. This end is probably about 95% complete. Minus the Coke cans, which are decoration. We did some more ballasting over here for this yard. This yard was only done up to this corner. So I got these curves up to the switches. We also have, from the switches, blended it to match the gray blend to gray. So we got traditional gray, a little bit of a diluted mixture of gray blend and gray, and then gray blend. We're going to do the same thing over here. Mix it all down. We're probably going to have that gray blend over here on this main line, and probably the other main line as well. For this side of the layout, we're going to paint the same thing. We're going to do baseboard paint. The forest green, that's evident here by the engine. In that corner right there, I gotta add my 15-inch radius, my half 15-inch radius or whatever, or 18-degree radius, sorry. And then complete that. I originally was gonna put a switch in there to run all the way around here and go and do an elevated thing, but I decided against that since most of the yards around here in the Charleston area are completely flat. There is nothing elevated. So make it somewhat match. Yes, I'm not using chassis system or Southern or anything else like that. I have Conrail and Southern engines over there, which sort of matches. The Conrail doesn't. That's Northeast. That's where I grew up. So that's what I'm used to. CSX is all over the place down here. I might do Norfolk Southern. I'm not sure. Might get some shells for my GP38s, my GP40s. But there's your updates for the mid-April. And I will be quiet now, and we'll do a pan from the messy end to the completed end. We're getting there, slowly but surely. Enjoy. One more thing at the 8-minute mark. The transformer is going to be where the substation kit is going to go. Got the base plate in. We'll be doing it eventually. Lots of small parts, lots of tweezer parts with precision gluing. And I really don't have the patience for that. A lot of shenanigans at work. So, typical life stuff. But we'll end the video focused on the Powerhouse.